how to use your hands to speak in a feminine way and to portray yourself as a feminine person. You need to understand that your hands are nothing but an extension of who you are and what you're trying to communicate. So you can use the way you move your hands as a powerful tool to express your femininity. Let's get started. The first thing is the concept of openness. You would have seen that in my previous videos, I have talked about how openness is a sign of being feminine and as a sign of being vulnerable. So how can we use our hands to express openness? What you can do is keep this thing in mind to keep your hands or your palms in an open position while you're talking. One easy way to remember this is to keep your palms facing up. So when you speak this way. Avoid this kind of movements where your palm is facing downwards. So whenever you're expressing something, take your hand in such a way that your palm faces upward. Openness means that you are ready to receive. Ready to receive information, ready to receive whatever the other person is trying to tell you. When you create an open personality and open body language, it creates a sense of calm around you. When anyone is talking to someone who has a very calm and feminine presence, they feel comfortable in communicating with that person. So that's the first thing you have to remember while you're using your hands or using your hands to communicate by keeping your palms in the upward position. We also talked in the previous videos about invisible lines. So when you're using your hands to communicate, keep your hands most of the times outside your invisible lines, which is the lines, vertical lines around your shoulders and a horizontal line around your waist. If you have to use your hands to bring in front of you, always ensure that you bring it back outside your shoulders. This will ensure that you create that openness in your body language, which we discussed earlier. The next thing you have to remember is the cyclical and flowy nature of your hands. You need to remember that masculinity is all about rigid and sudden movements. When you speak in a way where your hands are going in rigid and sudden movements, it shows power and authority. On the other hand, when you use your hands in a cyclical way, in a flowy way, it shows that you are more soft as a person and you are communicating it with the movements of your hand. So remember cyclical and soft and flowy movements of your hands. The last thing that you have to remember when using your hands to communicate is the separation between your fingers. If you keep your fingers and all the fingers together, it shows strength and power. And this is not what you want to communicate when you're presenting yourself as a girl. So what you can do is create some space between your fingers whenever you are communicating. One good way to practice this is to keep your index finger a little separate from all the different fingers and use flowy cyclical movements with separation between the fingers to communicate what you have to say. You can watch many ballet dancers and see how they always perform these cyclical movements with separation in their fingers to express their femininity. Another easy way to build this cyclical flowy nature is to rotate your hands in front of the mirror and try to speak. So as you are talking in front of the mirror, you're just practicing your hands, it becomes your second nature. Your subconscious mind gets trained to use your hands in a cyclical and a flowy way. So remember these few points: openness, invisible lines, separation between your fingers, and cyclical movements of your hands to express what you have to express.